Hey guys, welcome back, and this is another episode of Trading Recap, and this is going to be for my 2% win on Wednesday the 10th of May, and I'm going to run you through the price action and my narrative, my analysis, and my entry, my strategy that got me in this trade and won this trade. So I'm going to start off here on the 4 hour. I'm going to walk you through a bit of the price action, and then we'll get into the entry on the lower time frames, right? So what we have, you can see we was in a clear bullish run, low here, high, low here, high, pulled back, made a low here, failed to make this high, right? As you can see, this high here is lower than this high. Wasn't convinced just yet that we were done with our bullish trend, but now there's the possibility that this is a weak low. The trade happened around here, and for those few days in between, you can see we had bearish price on the 4 hour and obviously the lower time frames. So the daily was closing bearish for a few days now. Right, so we had bearish sentiment, bearish daily bias, and a possible weak low. So go down to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, let's get right down into the day where I traded here. So you can see on the previous day, Tuesday the 9th, we had this impulsive bearish move down. Impulsive bearish move here. You can see big massive black candles, bearish engulfing candles that came out and created a lower low. Created a lower low by breaking this previous weekly low and swept this liquidity. Now, overnight from the 9th into the 10th, you can see we had this really corrective pullback to what is a 1 hour order block here that caused the break of this low, and this low, right? Came back correctively, which give me more of a reason to continue with a bearish sentiment, right? To continue with the bearish trend that's happening at the moment, the bearish bias. So we've pulled up to the 1 hour order block, but we've pulled up very correctively and without the same momentum as it did going down. Because of all of the sell side liquidity we had taken, I wanted to see this hold. Go down to the 15 minute briefly. We also had 15-minute order blocks here. You can see this nice big strong 15-minute leg, and we can see this pullback even more, right, into the 10th. This was Asia on the 10th overnight, and here's what happened. I didn't want to trade directly off of this because, like I said, we've swept to a major liquidity point, and I just wanted to see it hold. I wanted extra confirmation. Created obviously the Asia range, and then now coming into London and Frankfurt, we've swept Asia highs, beautiful. Gone into the 1 hour order block, beautiful. Rejected it, great, beautiful. You can see here I wanted a different trade, but it didn't pull back, right? I'm not going to go into that. That could be another video. But you can see now we've got confirmations now, right? We've got a 15-minute breaker structure here, right? And we've got this massive impulsive bearish move now. So I'll go down to the 5 minute. So we've swept liquidity. We have a higher time frame order block. We have a break of structure on the 5 minute, breaker structure on the 15 minute, and a big massive impulsive leg. So what happened once it had done this was it left this low intact. So this low at the time, let me change it. This low at the time was like this as liquidity. And, we pulled back, broke down again, right? So now we have another 5 minute breaker structure. So the order flow, the trend is continuing. We pulled back again, respected a knob up here, and broke down again. This was a 15-minute breaker structure again. So now 15-minute has broken structure twice and left this nice easy liquidity pool here, right, at the very least, other than its lows that left that behind. So on the 5 minute, we've got relative equal lows, and even if you don't call it relative equal lows, we've got this liquidity low here and this liquidity low here. And we're clearly in a bearish order flow, right? Because we've had too many break of structures to the downside, and we're not getting any impulsive buying activity. So what happened when this 15-minute break of structure, and it was a 5-minute break of structure, happened? I had drawn out, we had a 15-minute order block with a fair value gap. We also had a 5-minute order block with a fair value gap, right? So this was a continuation trade. We've had this impulsive 10 minutes of price action, bearish, left these two lows here for sell side liquidity, and now we're beginning to pull back, and we're pulling back quite correctively. This move here only took 10 minutes. This move here has taken about 50, right, so far, and it's left these highs here as inducement. Inducement is buy side liquidity beneath my sell order block. So I've got that all lined out. I've got this here now, my tool lined out for my trade. A 5 pip stop, and then I've got my 10 pip target. Got my 15-minute order block, 5-minute order block, fair value gap on both time frames, and we've got order flow on our side. We've got the trend on our side. So we've got our inducement and our corrective price action happening. So at this point, I've set my order because I've got inducement as well. So I've set up that order. Price is pulling back, and we can play it out here. News is on the way, by the way. News is definitely on its way. So you can see now, I've been tagged in. We can go over to the DXY now, and I can show you DXY and why, that was on side as well. So just here briefly on DXY, you can see now that we had this scenario. This was the leg we was working in. 1 hour had now just produced, a higher high. What we've got is during this day and the previous day, you can see we're continuously making higher highs, and we've pulled back correctively, the same as EU because it's inverse. We've stabbed into the 1 hour order block, the same as we did on EU. What do we have here? Once this order block here creates this new high, and we have this pullback and it rejects, this becomes a strong low, right? And this becomes a weak high. So that daily high becomes a weak high, and we have, buy side liquidity on the way, right? That price will seek out. So as you can see, this is the long entry time. It was kind of it was just made a new high break of structure on the 15-minute, right? So you could see we had bullish structure continuing. We had the rejection of this 1 hour order block. We had the sweep of Asia, sweep of a low, giving sell side liquidity. Now we're going to seek buy side liquidity. And where's buy side liquidity? Here, 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 and ultimately up here. If it wasn't for news, of course, we could have targeted that. But so this is all I needed. We have this little fair value gap here. Price came back and filled that, and then obviously made its move forward, which was enough for me to hit my take profit. So back to EU now. So back on EU here, let's play it out. Now news was obviously due, and I would have closed this out manually. I wanted the move to happen quicker before news, which was coming in at 8:30 New York time, around here. And so I was closely monitoring this trade. Thankfully, just before, 10 minutes before news, it really started moving in my direction. As you can see, that candle closed. So I let it play out. So you saw it played out within those 10 minutes before news obviously made it spike and reverse the opposite way, right? Back up to this 1 hour order block. That was a lovely trade, fairly quick. Not as quick as I'd like. But I hope I went through my strategy, my narrative, my analysis, everything there. There's loads of key points. So I hope you took note of those, right? That's a lot of free value, and I hope you take that down. So if you did find this video informative or valuable, please subscribe, leave a like, really helps the channel. And I'll see you again soon.